Hey, hello, and welcome to Patriot Tough Talk. I'm your host, Mike. Today, I just want to complain about The View, the TV show The View. Not, uh, not a big fan, to be honest with you. Um, a lot of things going on in the world, and there's many people that are out there doing whatever they need to survive, and these women, got nothing against women, but they are all women. They come on TV and they basically ridicule and talk down to anything that's going on. They have reasons. They stand up and defend the fact that we have thousands of people on the border, and it's okay with them. They um, they make everybody sound like that they are totally against anybody to the right, and any view from the right, and they're just terrible people, if you ask my opinion. Whoopi Goldberg, she claimed that she was going to move if Donald Trump became president, and I was all ready to help her pack her bags, and she lied. She's a liar. She never left. Uh, Joy Behar, she plans to retire in 2022, according to Wikipedia. And it can't happen soon enough because she can never get her facts right. Everything she talks about is just they treat people horrible. They talk about all the things that people have done wrong and do wrong, and they are the most one-sided, um, ill-mannered. They're nasty to their guests that don't have the same opinion as them. They're and here's the fact that you know Joy Bear is 78 and we'll be 65, and you know they make a lot of money. They make $5, $6, $7 million a year. They're worth 10 times that. They're 30 million, 60 million, somewhere in there, according to what's on the web. Um, Reality is that they're just not very nice people. They they don't talk to anybody that doesn't see it their way. When somebody comes on that doesn't see it their way, they basically just drag them down, beat them up. So this is my first go around with a live show. Hopefully, if anybody's out there that checks in, shoot me a. It's a live show. Shoot me a chat, cause and I'll answer back. There's a lot going on in the world right now, and the boat that got stuck in the Suez Canal that came got unstuck today. The floating pattern before it crashed was that of a phallic symbol. That's interesting because I'm sure every ship floats like a phallic symbol. According to the captain, he was floating. He wasn't steering. And it was closed down for about 5-6 days. Everybody, there was 300 to 400 ships out in the waiting to get through the Suez Canal. That's the main supply line for us. So I'm sure gas prices will go up higher than they already have. We've I've watched the gas prices go up easily $1. We're down here at one point. We were getting gas for $1.91 through Costco. Excuse me, but it's up now almost $3. So we've gone up at least $1 in our gas prices here in upstate New York. The the Patriot radio is saying that they are there's some big thing coming. I'll believe it when I see it. Um, there's nothing that anyone's going to be able to tell me is going to happen from this point forward without proof. The the left is doing what they do. They're trying to push gun laws through, and there was no mass shooting incidents for years and years, and then the minute they put a gun control bill on the floor of the Senate, there's 4 in the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks. So, and that's one of my dogs in the background barking because he wants something. Wants to go upstairs, or he wants to. I don't know. He wants a person, but so yeah, it's there's a lot going on. Some of it you can give explanation to, some of it you can't. Some of it people are making up stories for it. Um, if you listen to right radio, there's by April 1st, and then it's even changing. You gotta, according to them, you gotta adjust on the fly, and that's a very military fact. Most military members, you hurry up and wait, and then you at some point you get going where you're supposed to. Um, the fact that the left is holding up anybody from getting down to the border to see everything that's going on, and Kamala Harris really isn't taking any responsibility, although she's supposed to be in charge of it. And Joe Biden, he's just another cat. He doesn't even know where he is half the time. I mean, even his live press conference, he had to have reminders of who the press was. I mean, it's the same people he sees every day, or it's the same people that are in the press room every day. Um, there's no difference. There's no difference. The alt left is really coming after the right as far as gun control, and they've come after with this HR1, and it's got a lot of hooks in it, to turn voting federal, which I hope nobody, regardless of what side you're on, right or left, wants to see a federal voting situation, because through the Constitution, it's supposed to be through the state, and every state has their own legislature that makes that decision. If the government takes over federal voting, then that's going to be a real bad turn for us. That's going to be a real bad turn for us. I did hear today that they keep talking about the vaccine, proof of vaccine. One guy was talking about tattoos. If that doesn't scream mark of the beast out of the Bible, taking the mark of Satan, I don't know what does. Even the fact that, if you want to go to a bar or restaurant, or if you want to go on a trip, you'd have to have a vaccination card that says you've been vaccinated. Well, which makes me think of Nazi Germany and give me your papers. So there's a lot of things going on, and there's all this distraction. And you're only getting certain news feeds that are telling you certain things. And I think honestly that everybody should really just step back and start looking for the news. China just made a $400 billion agreement with Iran today. That's going to turn into an alliance that I don't want to deal with ever. They've refused to do any business with us, and I think their statement was they will not be satisfied until the United States lifts all sanctions around the world. That itself is not even cool. Not even cool. Because those sanctions is how we keep some of these people from these other countries in check. Stop them from doing making nuclear weapons and things along that nature. So it's a very scary time. You don't know whether you should run off or run away, and you don't know whether you should stay where you belong or where you are. Um, there's a lot of decisions, I think, for people moving forward, and the states are fighting back against the federal government's laws, which is a bad thing. In the big picture, it's a bad thing that they are retaliating. I mean, it's a good thing if you're an American that believes in a certain set of guidelines. Um, but I think it's bad overall, regardless of how you feel about things, that the states feel that they have to fight back in order to keep the federal government in check. With the government pushing things so harshly, I think that there's going to be talk, and there is talk about states telling the federal government they don't need them. And that's bad for this country, because if you divide the country, then we're not a powerful country anymore. There's a lot of talk about human trafficking and the number of children that are unaccompanied down at the border, and the conditions they're living in, and the percentage of children that aren't connected to any family that nobody's going to miss. Unfortunately, in my opinion, that's the biggest issue we have in this country, across the globe. Human trafficking it's at its highest. And human trafficking covers a lot of things. I mean, it covers the drug cartels are using kids to mule drugs. Covers the sexual exploitation of children and adults. Um, it's a huge diversified market if you look at it that way. That the children aren't safe, the teens aren't safe. Anybody can get kidnapped and taken anywhere. I think they do use and take a lot of the children because children go missing in these third world countries, and people don't make us think about it. Even children missing in this country, there's, if they're missing and they can't find them, people stop looking. It's sad. It's sad that we have to do that, and that people have to go through that. I can't imagine. I can't imagine what it's like, what it would be like to lose a child through theft. It's one thing to lose your child through death. That's hard enough. But the fact that somebody takes that from you, that's horrible. That's horrible. And I look at the country as a whole, and with everything that's going on, we realistically are in a real, a shit sandwich. And things are just getting worse. And I think people need to start paying attention to what's happening between our border, between the laws that are being put forward, bills that are being put forward to be turned into law. People need to start paying attention, and hopefully you guys all start paying attention and research things and take the time to sit down and look into some of this stuff. You'd be amazed at the stuff that's attached to these bills is insane. If half the world now is on some form of anxiety medication that could disqualify you, half the world has seen therapists that could disqualify you. They've put so many reasons to disqualify you, the law-abiding citizen, that it's going to be hard for you to get a gun. And like I said, by definition, criminals don't follow laws. They're going to get black market guns. They're going to continue to get black market guns. All this is going to do is this is going to turn good people into criminals because they're going to want to protect their families if they can't get a weapon the legal way. And they should have the right to have it. They shouldn't have to be evaluated from head to toe. I mean, if there's no issue with those individuals, if they're not in trouble with the law and they're not in trouble financially, they're not in trouble here, whatever. If there's no reason, then there's no reason. And guns don't kill people. People kill people. You don't take away people's cars when they get in vehicle accidents. You can't blame the machinery. You can't blame the equipment. And you're not going to get everybody right. You're not going to get everybody right. You're never going to get. You can put somebody through an extensive background check and still be wrong. By them saying they're trying to weed out potential threats, that means they're just looking for reasons to disqualify you. So the gun law bills, they claim to go after criminals, but criminals don't care because they're not going to follow the rules. Criminals, you're not going to do a background check on a criminal because he's not going to put in an application. So right now we got immigration is off the chain down in the southern border. We got bills being put on the floor to take away guns from law-abiding citizens. They got laws to change the way we vote, to federalize it and take the authority out of the state's hands. They've taken and done things that make no sense. No sense. Like why would they have changed and overdone and rescinded an executive order that made insulin and EpiPens cheaper for people to get just because Trump came up with it? It's really not a good setting right now for our country, and you need to take time. I hope you take time, and I hope you look into some of this stuff because it's just so much right now that it's hard to keep track of. Even that boat that got stopped in the Suez Canal, there was something about that, and we don't know anything right now, and I don't know if we ever will. But a boat like that doesn't accidentally get stuck in the Suez Canal. Those boats have been traveling through there for tens and tens and tens of years. 50 plus for sure. And everybody knows how to navigate it. There were 400 ships behind it. They all knew how to get through when the time came. So start watching. Start understanding that people are trying to distract you from what's really happening. Try to keep your eyes open. Dig in deep. And understand that you're an American first before you're a Republican or a Democrat. Take the time to watch out and make sure that your rights, the ones you want, aren't taken away. They're trying to work a bill that would allow police officers to enter your home for no reason, limited probable cause. And the Supreme Court questioned the individual who is the lawyer involved with this particular case that is going on. That if they rule in favor of the lawyer, it will change the way laws are perceived throughout the country. And one of the Supreme Court judges asked, so if a police officer is driving by a house and looks in and sees a large number of people without masks, is that probable cause to go into their home? And he replied, yes. Now, once they're in your home, they can make decisions to take things, search for things, and you have no ground to stand on. So hopefully this case gets ruled against, and they don't allow the search and seizure part of the Constitution and the amendments to be altered. But it's those are the kind of things that we're not paying attention to because we're too busy watching the View and getting opinions from washed up comedians who know nothing about anything except their opinion, and they stomp their feet and pound their hands and act like children, big spoiled children, if they don't get their way or if somebody disagrees with them. Well, I'm gonna start doing these live shows. I'm gonna try to do them somewhere between I don't know, like 9 and 10:30. They'll still be that 15, 20 minutes long. Today's Monday, the 29th, almost in April, and I'll see you all again on the 31st. Have a great night. Peace out.